This is my first set of the night. I started out with some howls, and it sounded like three and maybe even four lit up to my southeast, which is perfect because that's exactly where the wind is coming from. And after some howling back and forth, I did some bull squeaks, and I don't know, maybe it just wasn't loud enough. They couldn't hear it, but they weren't coming. So then I switched to rabbit distress, and you can see here that that gets one of these interested, the one on the left. He's coming. And it's interesting what you see when you edit these videos. I never noticed this when I was out there. A third one pops up right in the middle. So between changing sounds, I lost sight of the one that started coming. And I look up in my scanner, and yep, the two are still there. I completely missed the fact that one of them was coming pretty good. And I was focused on these two, and as you can see, they're not really doing much of anything. So I'm just going to watch them for a little while. And eventually here, I'm going to get back on my scanner and start looking around. And I'm going to have a surprise. Oh, where'd this guy come from? You can see him a little flustered there. Here's a slow-mo of that shot. You can see I hit him a bit low, but he went straight down. So back to the other two. One runs over towards his buddy, and I'm still playing the rabbit because I'm fumbling around with the remote, and it's kind of new to me. Um, so I'm trying to find the button for my pup distress. That takes me a while, but you can see they're not really running away, which is good. That's sort of the suppressor really pays off. Now this guy starts flopping around. That was surprising after the way he went straight down like he did. But I think pretty soon here I'm going to turn on the pup distress. Yeah, there I did. I turn on pup distress and this one starts coming. He looks like he's coming pretty good. Checks up here. I can already kind of tell he's going to take the long way around. And like I said, the wind is right in my face. Yeah, that other guy's still flopping around there. Wind's right in my face, so he's got to get way around me to get my wind. And normally I would have shot that first one again by now, but um, I got another one coming here, and I don't want to mess that up. It didn't look like he was going to get away. Kind of disappeared for a minute, and he's going to pop back out here. Got a glimpse of him there. I didn't notice. There he comes. So he comes back into the field. And I'm thinking I'm in business. But there's this little rise in this bean field that I can't see over. And right about here, he disappears behind it. And I wanted to be standing on this set, but I was sitting down because there was a tractor out like a mile away that every time it would turn and come my way, it would light me up. So I was sitting down, and he just got behind this rise, and I could not find him. And it was when I edited this video, it was like 2 minutes between when he disappeared and when you'll see him pop back up again. So he whatever he was doing over on the other side of this little rise, he was taking his time. And at a certain point, I was thinking he's probably just not going to come. He might have went into that slough, but there he is. I turned, and he saw me or heard me turn. So I barked at him a couple of times. He stopped. That was a mistake. So we got two down. And I'm going to go back to this first one eventually. Looks like I'm scanning around here and make sure there's or check on what the third one ever did, and I never did see him again. So finally, I decide I better put another round in this first one that I shot, because he has kind of inched himself away. And that'll finish him. And that was it for that set. So now I'm off to my second set of the night, and I started out with some howls, just some howl and then an answer howl, and this guy never howled back. He just started coming, and like right away, within probably a minute or so, I could see him out there. It took me a minute to get the scope on him and get the record button pushed. Finally, I got her focused right about here. He's gonna run right by the collar. That's the little fuzzball there that you see. I put a little chunk of ghillie suit on top of it. But right about here, I'm trying to get him to stop, and I'm barking and woofing at him, and he's not even really slowing down. And I'm starting to get a little bit worried because I have to keep repositioning on him. Finally, I just go, "Hey!" That one I hit a little bit low as well. I was just I think a little flustered there. Here's the slow-mo on it. You can see I just aimed a bit lower than I should have. But the 22 Creed put him down. And then I go to calling. There's some different calls for a while. I went through a whole rabbit distress sequence, and then I went to like pup distress. I played probably 8 minutes of that, and I'm not seeing anything, and I'm scanning all around me. Finally, I figure I'm done here. Put the call on mute. I turn the remote off. I put my scope in standby, and I get to stand up and scan around with my scanner, and I see these two coming in behind me in this cornfield behind me. So I picked out one. I shot him, and it's a little obscured here. There's some weeds and stuff in the way that I should have knocked down. But I got the one. The second one takes off, and I sped this up a ways. He runs for a while and will not stop. I think there's a couple times where he checked up just for a second. I didn't really want to take a running shot at him. And I'm starting to think I'm probably not going to get a shot at him. Finally, he stops out here, and I try him. He could see, man, I missed just left. And all I know is over 300 some yards. And I had accounted for that by holding high, but I forgot the wind was chucking right to left and completely missed that. Now it's the next night, and I'm out on my first set of the night. And I got one coming pretty hot to rabbit distress. And you'll see here that he cooperates quite well. Only like 57 yards, I think. 22 Creed put him right down. I'm scanning around because I started with some howls and I'd heard at least two howl down in that corner that he came from. I'm wondering where the other one is at. So then I switched to Pup Distress, and this one started coming pretty much right away. I also switched to Black Hot on my scope because I kind of like that better for shooting, at least recently I do. This one's coming in nice. He looks like he's just going to stop on his own, and I'm just going to let him, but he won't. I start barking at him. Finally, I just decide, well, I can shoot you on a trot. That's okay. So I put two down there, and that was it for the night. I was tired, packed up, and went home. There's the second one, and there's the first one, 13 yards apart. And for the weekend, I did pretty well. My first set, shot this pair. We saw my second set that night. Shot this pair. Look at how big that male is compared to the pup. This is my third set. Nice fluffy pair. They're actually both males, which is a little surprising. And here's all six for the weekend. All in three sets, 2 nights. Oh, look at how big that male is, the second one from the left. I probably should have weighed him. He's a big boy.